The labor movement in the country makes history as unions unite this Labor Day, and here on Grand Bahama was no exception. Leading members of the Free National Movement on this northern island vowing to protect the rights of workers in the country. And all roads lead west as a major cultural event is set for this holiday weekend.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening. I'm Sabrina Brown. Thank you for joining us. Topping the news, it is Labor Day and a joint march was held on Grand Bahama this morning, led by the National Congress of Trade Unions and the Trade Union Congress, in memory of the father of labor in the Bahamas, Sir Randall Fox. Italia Hall was there.
Grand Bahamians from the various unions coming together in solidarity for the annual Labor Day March. The theme, Decent Work for Decent Pay, Workers United for One Common Cause. The honorees for the 2017 parade are two pioneers in the labor movement, Rudy Stubbs and Francis Friend. The parade began shortly after 8 outside of the Bahamas Union of Teachers building in Pioneers Loop, Freeport. From there, the group paraded through the streets. Joining the workers as they formed a united front was the Deputy Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for East End, the Honorable K. Peter Turnquist. Turnquist says it was important for him, along with his team, to come out in support of workers.
We are built on the backs, the hard works of many ordinary citizens who do not get recognized in the normal scheme of all of these award ceremonies and all the rest of it. But this is an opportunity for them to come together and to celebrate and to support one another and to celebrate their contribution to this country.
Now, some laborers say they are not pleased with the crowd, but going forward they would like to see more Grand Bahamians come out and support this annual parade.
I would like to see us as a people give better support to all of the organizations, and especially when we're given these tasks, I think all of the groups and other organizations should come out and give their support.
You know, it's our day. It's the Labor Day. It's the People's Day. So I think everybody should be out here, and that's why I'm out here.
Support unity at the workplace, and we come together today in solidarity to say that this is our Bahamas and we will make it great.
Labor activist Lionel Morley says there are many who have now passed away who fought to get the labor movement where it is today.
We want young people to know that the struggle wasn't easy. It is a constant fight, and no matter how at times capital rage and they put certain things in the forefront, labor seemed to be always excluded. And so we are happy to just be a voice for the voiceless, and we're happy to be that extra piece for the middle class and the poor man.
The parade ended at the Bahamas Public Service Union Hall on West Atlantic Drive, where a rally was held. There, leaders of the various unions gave brief remarks, shared their concerns, and told workers that going forward they must remain united for a stronger workforce. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Immediately following the parade, hundreds of laborers gathered outside the BPSU Hall for the annual Labor Day rally. The Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Michael Pintard, the Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Works, Iram Lewis, the Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge, Frederick McAlpine, and the Minister of State for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, all say that the government of the Bahamas now has the responsibility to ensure that the rights of workers is protected in this country.
Certainly our commitment to work on your behalf and in conjunction with you to make sure we improve the conditions under which you work, and most importantly to make sure that we could bring your brothers and sisters, your sons and your daughters who are presently unemployed into the workforce. That is our commitment.
The demonstration today was excellent, and I'm pleased, my cousin Loretta, when you advised that you will be meeting on a regular basis, on a monthly basis, to ensure that all of the voices are heard, and you are ensuring the fact that you are indeed your brother's keeper.
The workforce needs to be strengthened in Grand Bahama. If you're going to get anywhere with government, you're going to get anywhere with industries, if you're going to get anywhere as a people, you must begin to stand together and to speak with one voice.
Let me also congratulate all of you workers. You ought to give yourselves a round of applause. We would not have a government if it was not for you. We would not have an economy if it were not for you. We would not have a workforce if it were not for you.
Meanwhile, Progressive Liberal Party Senator the Honorable Fred Mitchell was also on Grand Bahama for the annual Labor Day event. Mitchell says despite being in opposition, he remains committed to helping to build a stronger Bahamas.
What endures is ideas. And the idea is, how do we protect the working men and women of the Bahamas? Someone else is now at the wheel, and they have the responsibility to protect the working man and the working woman of the Bahamas. We wish them best in that endeavor. In Grand Bahama in particular, I am now to be the shadow spokesman on labor. So in Grand Bahama in particular, having come out of my past job, there are several work sites that I'll be watching. The Grand Bahama Shipyard, the container port, the Club Fortuna and the tourism sector generally, and the public service workers themselves.
Persons throughout Grand Bahama are gearing up for the 2017 local government elections, which is only a few days away. Officials on Grand Bahama charged with overseeing the process are tonight providing some vital information for all potential candidates. Italia Hall has that story.
On Tuesday, a number of persons will head to the various nomination centers on Grand Bahama to submit their nomination papers for the 2017 local government election. Assistant Parliamentary Commissioner Reno Smith says persons who registered for the general election will be eligible to vote in the local government election.
The register has been temporarily closed. It closed on the 25th of May, so no other persons can come in at this time to register. The issuance of the writs of election was done on the 26th of May. On the 27th of May, issuance of notices of elections, and on the 30th of May, publications were made in the various print media throughout the Bahamas. And so we're inviting persons to participate in the upcoming local government elections.
Island Administrator Preston Cunningham listed the documents that should be provided, which includes a $50 fee.
Remember, their documents must be notarized, and they must have lived or must be living in the polling divisions for which they are being nominated.
In Freeport, the nomination center will be at the Administrator's Office. In East Grand Bahama, the Administrator's Office in High Rock will be the nomination center. And in West Grand Bahama, the Administrator's Office in 8 Mile Rock. Cunningham adds that all nomination centers will be open between the hours of 9 a.m. and 12 noon.
It's important they come on time. It's important that they don't run late, because it closes at noon on that day.
Election Day will take place on the 22nd of June, and a recount will be conducted on June 23rd. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Natalia Hall.
The University of the Bahamas Northern Campus class of 2017 embarking on a new era. As a prelude to the official commencement exercise, graduates assembled at a local church for a traditional service. Joan Davis-Roll reports.
The class of 2017 made up of the historic graduates who have matriculated under the new University of the Bahamas Northern Campus banner, marching to the dawn of a new era. The same group entered a hallowed place to seek the guidance and direction of a higher power. During the university's annual baccalaureate held at the Church of the Ascension, graduates were applauded for their accomplishments, but challenged by Rector Reverend Father Michael Gittins to look to the hills from whence cometh their help.
At the end, for all your effort, you will realize it has not been in vain. Look where you are today. Pat yourselves on the back. You've done well. You've done well. Because you know the many nights. Some of you probably was crying over them books. Oh Lord, I can fail this test. You know you didn't do the necessary preparation. You know you were last minute cramming. But look how it is. At the end of the day, you still made it through. Thanks be to God. But let it be a lesson and encouragement to all of us that we who are made in the image of God, there is nothing impossible for us to do or accomplish as long as we keep God as priority in our lives.
The local Anglican priest further underscored the significance of perseverance.
The road was long, the road was very hard, and some of you didn't think you would make it to this day. There are times when you wanted to give up. There are times when you said, this course is just not feeling me, or I'm not feeling the course. I think I better drop it. But then you realize that I need this course to graduate, so I better stick it out. And through many trials and toils and pains and frustrations, you are here today. Why? Because of the grace of God, you have persevered.
Graduates were admonished not to rest on their laurels, but to continue to soar to higher heights, and above all, to put God first.
Perseverance is just not giving up. It is persistence and tenacity, and the effort required to do something and keep on doing it until you see its completion. Perseverance is what got you here. Perseverance is what will carry you through the next dawn of your new era, the next step in your journey of life. But without God, you could have all the perseverance in the world, but you're not going to make it.
Joan Davis Roll, ZNS Network News.
A man who residents say put them in fear was hauled before the magistrate court Thursday morning. Tyrone Davis, age 46, of no fixed address, was arraigned before Magistrate Charlton Smith on 3 counts of indecent exposure. Police say for some time, residents on Grand Bahama, particularly those who walked on a regular basis during the early morning hours on the mall in Freeport, complained about a man who would suddenly appear and expose himself, leaving them in fear. While that man, identified as Tyrone Davis, a.k.a. Butter, pled guilty to the offenses. He was sentenced to 3 months on each count to run concurrently at the Sandlands Rehabilitation Center. Meanwhile, a freak accident on East Sunrise Highway this afternoon, interrupting the flow of traffic in the area. A 20-foot trailer owned by Secor Island Lines Shipping Company was on its way to deliver a shipment to the Best Varieties Goods store on East Sunrise when it overturned near the East Sunrise Shopping Center and Boulevard Service Station shortly after 2 p.m. Wesley Munning says he witnessed the entire ordeal.
Right here, just as he's about to straighten up, cars coming on the inside, going out there. As he come and he leveled off here, the top trailer decided to slide, and he tried to slow down, and he slowed down a little bit, and all of a sudden she just dropped right off. But actually the front wasn't locked, because he usually lock up 2 to each side and locked it on the ramp trailer itself. But he was not speeding, so, and the main fact that slide off is not his fault right now, because anybody could look at it and see they're supposed to be hooked in and locked in on the top.
Fortunately, no one was hurt in the incident. However, driver Simeon Wildgoose appeared to be a bit shaken. Agent for Secor, Nicoya Cambridge, was on the scene.
Container came in for Best Variety this morning on our vessel, and it was cleared and in transit to their location. While the unit was in transit, one of the latches came off and it overturned. So at this time, we have a situation where the unit is overturned, and we now have to have it assessed. Customs is here, and once they break the seal, we'll open the unit and offload and go from there.
Stay with us. There's more news after this.